This poem is titled Brown Colored Pencil. I remember when I was like 4 and 5, every time I met someone new, they'd ask about my lip. They'd say something like, "What happened to you?" And I'd explain I was born with something called cleft lip and palate. And when they didn't understand, I'd say, like the little kids on TV from Africa. Or just show them an example. By the time I was 6, I was sick of answering their questions, but it seems like the older I got, the less people wondered about my lip. And the more they started to wonder about my skin, silently judging me because the skin I'm wrapped in is a little darker than the average brown colored pencil that people seem to abandon and push to the back of the box, not using it unless they're coloring mud or dirt. People start looking at me like everything they ever drew with the brown colored pencil as a little kid. Every mud puddle, every piece of dirt under the beautiful flower, every strand of brunette hair beneath the crown on the princess's head, every brown bear. But today, I will answer every question that they never had the guts to ask about my heritage, about my people. With everything that I do, I will show them that we were royalty before they demoted us to peasants and tried to make us believe we will never be as beautiful as the flower above the soil, the rain that breaks a drought, and tried to convince us that we are wild animals who will never be nothing but brunette hair on top of the princess's head. They tell us that little brown girls will never get their happily ever after. But when I was little, they told me I could be anything I wanted to be. As I grew up, they told me to stay in my place, that I'm nothing but a little black girl who can't make a difference, who can't speak out, a little black girl whose words doesn't matter because I'm not ratchet, because I have standards, because I'd rather starve than sell my body, and I'd rather die than make it to the top for selling my soul, they tell me. With every look and every stare and every question about my hair, that I am nothing but a brown colored pencil. But for now, I say, I am the same brown colored pencil I used every day when I was little to draw myself as a beautiful princess, holding a vibrant pink flower in the rain.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Sometimes all it takes is just saying hi.
Hi.
took all logic and threw it out the window. My very crippled hands were burned with my own candle. No external conflict, no internal handle. Extremely tired of this never-ending crescendo.
Live from Stages Music Arts in Cockeysville, it's Carver Celebration. I'm Jayla Grady.
And I'm Jake Robbins.
And we're here to guide you on an exploratory journey of all things Carver Center.
Today we're going to be spotlighting all 11 of our amazing primes here at George Washington Carver Center for Arts and Technology. But before we begin...
Whoa, wait a second, Jake.
Yeah?
Can you name all 11 primes?
I mean, yeah, we've been in acting for 4 years together, Jayla.
I mean, yeah, anybody can do that, but can you do it alphabetically?
I mean, yeah, but kind of in the middle of a show right now.
It'll be quick.
Okay, fine. Acting, carpentry, cosmetology, culinary arts, dance, design and production, digital instrumental music, information technology and interactive media design, literary arts, visual arts, and vocal music. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, good? Okay, thank you. Anyway, moving on. Today, we have a huge, really fun auction going on right now.
That's right. Simply open up your cell phone camera and scan the blue QR code in order to see the great items that we have, thanks to our generous donors. Be sure to keep your ticket number ready to register on Givey in order to start bidding on these items, and they'll be open until tomorrow, April 18th at 5 p.m.
Speaking of thanks, we want to thank you, the viewers watching, the families, the volunteers, the sponsors, and everybody who helped make Carver Celebration what it is today. Thank you so much. We know a lot went into tonight, and we're so excited to show you what we've been working on for the past year.
And we have a surprise. For each of our live performances, we have student artists who will be creating original interpretations of the performances right here, right now. That will be revealed at the end of each segment. These items will also be added to the auction to go home with one lucky bidder.
Starting off today's performance and show, we're going to be going to vocal music and have two performers from Lily Azursky and Mariah Frazier. Follow me into the performance hall.
Papa, please forgive me. Try to understand me. Papa, don't you know I had no choice? Can you hear me praying? Anything I'm saying, even though the night is filled with voices, I remember everything you taught me, every book I've ever read. Can all the words and all the books help me to face what lies ahead? The trees are so much taller, and I feel so much smaller. The moon is twice as lonely, and the stars are half as bright. Papa, how I love you. Papa, how I need you. Papa, how I miss you kissing me good night. Now you say you're lonely. You cry the long night through. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. Now you say you're sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. You drove me, nearly drove me out of my head. Well, you never shed a tear. Remember, I remember all that you said. Told me love was too plebeian. Told me you were through with me, and now you say you love me. Well, just to prove you do, come on and cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. You drove me, nearly drove me out of my head. Well, you never shed a tear. Remember, I remember all that you said. Told me love was too plebeian. Told me you were through with me, and now you say you love me. Well, just to prove you do, come on and cry me a river, cry me a river, 'cause I cried I cried a river over you.
Wow, that was wonderful. What a great way to start off our evening. Here's our first performance as art, envisioned by Tiffany Q with watercolors. We are here tonight to celebrate the talent of Carver Center students and to raise funds to ensure the continued success of our program. We have an ambitious goal tonight of raising an additional $5,000, but knowing the generosity of this Carver Center community, I think we'll get there in no time. And be sure to check out our event page to see our progress throughout the evening. In our next set of performances, you'll be taken on a journey of hope, resilience, and comfort. Sit back and enjoy.
I've been standing with you. I've been right here with you, Troy. I got a life too. I gave 18 years of my life to stand in the same spot with you. Don't you think I ever wanted other things? Don't you think I had dreams and hopes? What about my life? What about me? Don't you think it ever crossed my mind to want another man? That I wanted to lay up somewhere and forget my responsibilities? That I wanted someone to make me laugh so I could feel good? You're not the only one who's got wants and needs, Troy. But I held on to you. I took all my feelings, my wants and needs, my dreams, and I buried them inside you. I planted a seed and watched and prayed over it. I planted myself inside you and waited to bloom. And it didn't take me no 18 years to find out the soil was hard and rocky and it wasn't never going to bloom. But I held on to you, Troy. I held on tighter. You was my husband. I owed you everything I had, every part of me I could find to give you. And upstairs in that room with the darkness falling in on me, I gave everything I had to try and erase the doubt that you wasn't the finest man in the world. And wherever you was going, I wanted to be there with you. Because you was my husband. Because that was the only way I was going to survive as your wife. You always talking about what you give and what you don't have to give. But you take too. You take and don't even know nobody's giving.
Dancing with Death. When I offered him my hand, he gave me an odd smile, like no one had ever done that before. His lips were cool and dry, a fall breeze against my knuckles. We chatted away the evening, speaking everything that came to mind, but nothing of importance. The clock had just struck 11 when he asked me to dance. I could feel a no stuck in my throat. He smiled, a soft, sharp smile, cruel and kind. And then he took me by the hand and led me to the center of the room. I couldn't find the strength to resist. I followed him mutely and shivered as he brought me close. The song was a waltz, quick and beautiful, and though he stepped in rhythm, his chest moved slowly, in and out, in and out, in, out. The waltz dragged on. Every time I thought it was cresting, it would fall, and once I was sure it had fallen enough to end, the music would swell again. "Please," I gasped. A couple whirled past us. I couldn't call out to them. "I need to stop. Please." His expression was hard, sharp. The smile was gone. "Not just yet, love." The music swelled again, and he spun me around until I couldn't tell the floor from the ceiling. His grip tightened. Each note was a knife stab as the music quickened. The next thing I knew, I was on the floor, gown billowed out around me. Everything ached. The world seemed slower,
A few bystanders were staring. I rose to my feet, trembling, and took 3 wobbling steps out of the circle of dancers. My heart thundered in my chest as I searched the room. He was nowhere to be seen. It was like he was never there to start.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Sometimes all it takes is just saying hi.
Hi. Hi, I'm Layla. I'm in Carpentry, and today I'm going to show you how to build a crate. It's really easy, and you can build it right at home. So the tools you're going to need are a circular saw and a drill. The kind of lumber you'll need are 1x3s and 1x2s. You'll need 1 1/4 inch nails, 1 1/4 inch screws, a tape measure, a combination square, pencil, and of course your personal protective equipment, which include goggles, a mask, and hearing protection if you're using a circular saw. I'm going to take you over here and show you how to cut with a circular saw. So here I have my 1x3s ready to cut a 1-foot-long piece. You'll need 6 of those. Make sure you clamp your wood down. We're going to start by measuring. And you're just going to mark right where it says 1 foot on your tape measure. And then you'll take your combination square to get a straight line for cutting. Right where that line is, you want to make a nice dark mark. And don't forget hearing protection for your circular saw. Here's our piece. We'll need 7 of the 12-inch pieces, 4 of the 6.5-inch pieces, and 4 of the 5 1/4 pieces in the 1x2 lumber. Seth is going to show you how to do the 1x2s.
Hi Hi everyone, my name is Kennedy Smith. I'm a senior in Culinary Arts Prime, and I've been cooking for about 5 years. I really was interested in the Culinary Arts program at Carver, and I saw that they had the option, so I decided to join the program.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Rowd, and I'm also a senior in the Culinary Arts program. My path with culinary was a little bit different. Cooking is a very basic skill everyone needs to know, and I really wanted to go to college being able to survive on my own and be able not to live off of frozen dinners, and I was really excited to be able to try something very different.
So we're going to start off today by making a basic, very simple, easy dish, but it also tastes very delicious and it's very customizable to the person or people you're making it for. So it's a trifle, but we're going to be making a chocolate and strawberry trifle today. I personally enjoy the combination of chocolate and strawberry. It kind of gives me that sweet and rich flavor, but also not being too insanely sweet and being very balanced with the vanilla cream. So a trifle is a very delicious English dish. It's almost like a dip, but it's not a dip. It's a layered dessert, and it has a sponge, chocolate sponge. Today we're using chocolate sponge, but you can use vanilla sponge or plain sponge, and then sometimes it's soaked in flavored liqueurs.
Yeah, and trifles are very easy to kind of mix and match with different types of flavors and different types of fruits. And creams, it's very easy to be able to like layer it, like Kennedy was saying, to be able to layer it to have different kind of flavors all combining at once.
We're going to start off with our ingredients today. So we have chocolate box cake mix, and we're going to give you a couple tips and tricks a little later on about how we made this cake, but this is a chocolate cake mix. We have 2% milk, but you can use any kind of milk. We're going to need about 2.5 cups of that. We're also going to need chocolate chips, instant pudding mix. We're using vanilla flavored pudding mix and semi-sweet chocolate chips today because semi-sweet chocolate has a really great balance between sweetness and richness and bitterness, so it'll help balance out the intense sweetness of the pudding and the whipped topping and the cake. And then we're also going to need some strawberries, of course, which we have in the back.
And also the supplies that we're going to be using today and the tools. So you're going to have different knives. We're going to have a spatula. This will help when we're trying to whip the pudding together and kind of fold it, which we're going to talk more into detail later. You have our whip to be able to mix the pudding when we have to. And then we have our chef knife. Obviously, you got to be careful. And we also have our paring knife. Over here, we have a little cutting board for us to be able to cut up the strawberries at a later time. We have our cake already ready in our pan. We have our mixing bowl ready to go for our pudding, and just some spoons and a little dish for us to have our chocolate chips in.
And then also, of course, we have our measuring unit. Today we're going to be using a measuring cup. This is a 2-cup measuring cup because we're going to be using a lot of liquids today.
Hello, Carver. My name is CJ Ugal.
Hi, I'm Pearl.
Emma Kimmel.
Tiffany Q.
Cara Lawson.
Wayne Malenik.
How I would describe myself.
I think a lot of my peers recognize me as someone who likes to use very bright and vivid colors.
I like to think I'm pretty charming sometimes.
I need to find myself as a sculptor.
A visual storyteller.
I'm a filmmaker, photographer.
I'm a Young Arts winner and the publicist of National Art Honor Society.
My work is mainly large-scale self-portraiture about my personal journey.
Being at Carver has kind of shaped how I see people and how I also see myself.
Having a community surrounding you that are supportive and passionate and driven pushes me to be passionate and driven as well.
Through spending my years at Carver creating art, I now have a greater understanding of who I am when I look back on all that I've made.
Honestly, being an artist during the pandemic, or at least the height of it, has been rather difficult.
You don't have as much access to resources, and your support system isn't exactly the same.
So we kind of lose who we are sometimes and lose our spark. Art has kind of taught me about who I want to be, what I want to do for the world and others, and kind of just what I want out of my own life.
It's given me like a second pair of eyes, and I've been able to think more deeply about things.
Art has made me connect with my inner emotions.
I had to look inward and figure out what part of myself do I want to show, and how do I make these feelings that I have or an experience tangible and produce it in my body of work.
I think Alexi is just anything you leave behind.
A story that people find worth telling.
Every life you touched or anyone you influenced or inspired.
Somebody whose ideas and creations live on.
It is leaving a mark on others.
Surpassing what's expected of you and creating a lasting impact.
I want underclassmen to be able to either watch my films or look at my photography work and draw ideas from that inspiration and create their own version of it.
As an open student who tried to be positive and fun with her work.
Someone who took chances.
As a person of color, I was able to find success and achievements.
I want people to be able to see my story throughout my work and maybe relate to it themselves.
I would like for one of my works to be on the wall, like the big wall in the Commons, and there's all those big pieces up there.
I would see these amazing, beautiful, huge paintings in the hallways at Carver, and I would think, gosh, how could a high school student do that? Through hardship and hard work comes great results and pride, and being proud that you've been able to do something that you never thought you would have been able to do.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. I'll let them know. I just got amazing news. Apparently, Raph Sapia, local attorney and Carver grad dad, paired up with the board of directors of Carver Foundation to match every donation we receive tonight to up to $1,600. This is an amazing opportunity to donate, because that means for $50 being donated, $100 are donated, doubling your impact. One paintbrush becomes two scholarships become 4. This is just an amazing opportunity. So please, please donate now using the QR code right down here. Just scan it with your phone and the link will come up. All right. Speaking of doubling up, in this next piece, we're doubling up the primes. Enjoy a mashup of literary arts and acting with monologues and a scene date night written by Ethan Holler and acted by Zara Kochikaru, Layla Woodward, and Kyler May. Please enjoy, guys.
You're so neat. God, you're such a neat guy. I wish I would have known you when I was little. Not like real little, but like at the age when you start finding out stuff. When I was cracking rocks apart and looking at the sparkles inside. And oh, I would have took you to this real neat hideout I had where I made my own waterfall out of tires and stuff. And, well, I bet you would have protected me. Because people were always giving me a hard time. And actually, once I was in a play, and I was real glad I was in a play because I thought they were just for pretty people, and I had my dumb eye patch and these metal plate shoes to correct my duck foot, so... Oh, well, it was the ugly duckling. And I really dug that because of the happy ending and whatever, and I got to be the ugly duckling, and I had to wear some old black tattered cloth and get all the stuff just flung at me, but I didn't mind, because at the end I'd be that pretty swan and all. But you know what they did, Slim? At the end of the play, I had to kneel on the stage, and this really pretty blonde-haired girl, dressed in a white ballet dress, rose up behind me as the swan. It was really shitty. Because I never got to be the swan. And I paid all the dues. And up rose ballerina Kathy like the North Star, and all the parents could talk about afterwards was how pretty that she looked. Man, I just ran to my hideout and I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. The lousy jerks, though. But I wish you were around then. I bet you would have protected me. Thank you.
I was going to run last night. I was going to run and keep right on running. I drove all night, clear to the Iowa border, the old man's 2-buck sitting right on the seat beside me. It never stopped raining the whole time. Never stopped once. I could see myself in the windshield, my face, my eyes. I studied my face, studied everything about it, as though I was looking at another man, as though I could see his whole race behind him. Like a mummy's face, I saw him dead and alive at the same time, in the same breath. In the windshield, I watched him breathe as though he were frozen in time. And every breath marked him forever without him knowing. And then his face changed. His face became his father's face. Same bones, same eyes, same nose, same breath. And his father's face changed into his grandfather's face. And it went on like that, changing, clear on back to faces I'd never seen before but still recognized the bones underneath, the eyes, the breath, the mouth. I followed my family clear into Iowa, every last one, straight into the cornfield and further, straight back as far as they'd take me. Then it all dissolved. Everything dissolved.
It was gross, but I'll get over it. Besides, it's really no use comparing me to someone like Sandra St. Charles. The woman married a very wealthy man. She has access to all kinds of plastic surgeons, personal trainers, designer skincare, so you really can't compare her situation and mine. It doesn't bother me that he called me plain. What bothers me is that he was just such a complete jackass. What kind of monster says those things? I know that people thought that way, but actually speak it? He's a dirtbag. No, no, it's much worse than that. He's a disappointment. I have one of his paintings hanging on the wall across from my couch, and sometimes I will just sit there and stare at it and wonder, where did that come from? How did he put brush to canvas and then just make an entire story come to life out of one frozen moment? I don't know, I guess I thought there had to be something good in him to create something like that. Maybe there was once, I don't know. Just, there's this magic in it. It's like I can look at the painting and close my eyes, and then suddenly I am the little girl. And I can walk on water. I would give anything to make somebody feel like that with one of my paintings.
No, I like this song.
Yeah, and I would like it too if they didn't play it every 10 minutes.
Bro, you're too picky. Hold up.
What?
You're gonna hate me for this one.
Bree.
I hungry.
I told you to eat at the party.
Yeah, but I feel like everyone was staring at me. There's a fast food place right up there. We'll just go through the drive-thru.
Fine. But I'm changing this dumb song. Are you sure this place is even open?
The sign said it was.
This place is really creepy at night. What do you want?
Let me look. Let me look.
Did you see that?
What?
Something's out there.
How can you even see through the rain?
But wait, listen.
I swear, if you're just trying to scare me,
Hello?
Hey, hi, yes,
The drive-thru is closed. You're gonna have to come inside.
All right, let's go.
Oh, I'm not going in.
Oh, I know you don't think that I'm going in there by myself.
Please, I don't want to get all wet.
Fine, let's get my jacket on. But you know, if I go in there and I die, everyone's gonna think it was you.
Just go in before they close.
What do you want?
Just give me some nugs or something.
Oh, some nugs or something?
Nuggets? Come on, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh my goodness, it's totally my fault. It's okay.
Okay, no.
I really need to watch where I'm going.
Please, let me get it.
Oh, look at you, my knight in shining armor. What's a girl like you doing out here at this time of night?
Oh, I'm just trying to impress a girl.
Oh, yeah, my son's getting around like that too. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Sometimes I just get so worried that he's just going to run off with his girlfriend and get her pregnant and never come home. Is this your car?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I love the color. I might have to steal it from you.
Oh, God, don't. Do you need help carrying your stuff to your car?
No. I think I've got it from here. You get home safe, all right?
Oh, God. Hello?
How can I help you?
Hi. Yes, can I get two nugget meals,
What's
please?
your sauce?
Ranch, I guess.
$7.29.
Oh, okay. Should I?
Excuse me.
Jesus Christ. Hi.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I just they forgot my sauces.
I'm sorry. No, it's me. I'm just tired.
Oh, well, no, that's okay. Big girl like you needs her sleep, right? Yeah.
So, you needed them sauces.
What?
The sauces.
Oh, right. the sauces. Right. Yeah. Okay.
About time. Where were you?
Sorry, I bumped into this weird lady, and then she started talking to me about all this weird stuff and about her. I don't know.
Were you trying to make me jealous talking to another girl?
Oh, I tell you what I am doing. Now I'm getting the heck out of here. Oh my God, what was that? Oh my God.
Holy crap, you hit someone.
What? No, oh my God. Oh, jeez. Oh God, it's the woman, it's the lady. Okay, well, well, no one's here, and we can just, like, leave.
Are you crazy? We have to help her.
Bree, I can't go to jail.
Okay, then they jumped.
She jumped? What?
The woman. She jumped behind the car. That's the story.
Well, we backed into her. They're not going to believe that.
We'll make them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she jumped. She jumped. Well, you go inside and call the police, and I'll just wait here with her, or... Okay.
Hello? Anyone in here? There's been an accident. Damn. Hi. Yes, my girlfriend and I are at the fast food place on 45th Street. A woman jumped in front of our car. She's out there with her right now, and I came inside to see if anyone could help us. Yes, we'll wait here.
Up here. Now let's take a look at C.J. Ugel's amazing artwork that was actually inspired by this. It's absolutely amazing, isn't it? All of the artists make it look so easy. I can assure you, it's not. Anyway, moving on, let's make sure that you guys know where to get this. If you look at the QR code down here, you can scan it with your phone and see all this amazing artwork that is being auctioned off right now. So please check it out and scan it right now. Now, moving forward, let's see our next pieces.
Hello Carver Center community. This year, a portion of the Carver Center INT-IMP senior class was challenged with producing a game based on the results from 5 community polls. With many components that needed to be fleshed out, such as story, code, art, sound, and UI, we had a lot of work ahead of us, but despite our numerous limitations, we were able to produce this game within a timely manner. A month of work later, the 12 of us present our game, Night Owl, a single-player platformer in which you play as an owl trying to escape a prison guarded by anthropomorphic cats. Armed with only your trusty laser pointer, can you find your way out? So without further ado, we'd like to present to you Night Owl.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Sometimes all it takes is just saying hi.
Hi.
Hey, I'm Seth, and now I'm going to show you how to cut the 1x2 pieces for the corner supports of the crate. Since I don't have a power saw, I'm going to be using a handsaw. Some basic handsaw safety. Always wear a glove on your supporting hand to make sure that if the saw jumps out of the cut line, that you're never going to get hurt. You can wear gloves on both hands if you'd like. I prefer to just wear a glove on my supporting hand so I can have a bit more support and accuracy when using my handsaw. Other basic safety precautions, if you have long hair like I do, make sure that you have it tied up. Always wear safety goggles, a dust mask, have your sleeves rolled up, and that goes for pretty much everything that you could be doing in carpentry, especially regarding the use of power tools. It can be very dangerous. So we will start with measuring our 5 1/4 line. There we go. And then use your combination square to get that straight line, nice and dark so we can see it. And since I'm using a handsaw, I'm going to be making what's called a 3-point layout, which goes on all 3 sides that you can see to make sure that your cut is a perfect straight line. You want your piece to be square and everything so it can fit nicely into the crate that you're building. So we can start by supporting our piece and aligning our blade with the cut line and making a notch running towards us so that we have a good place to start. And then we can start cutting at a 45-degree angle. If you apply power and good stability, it's not too slow. A very efficient way to cut a piece of wood. If you have a little extra there, you can always cut that off. And then there you go. That is our 1x2 pieces, 5 1/4 inch.
Hello, my name is Caroline Hickman and I am class of 22 Cosmetology at Carver Center. And today I will be teaching you how to fill in an eyebrow. We're going to start off by just brushing your eyebrows up and into shape. And then take your favorite brow product. I'm using a pencil, you can use a pomade, you could use a gel, whatever you're most comfortable with using. And you're just gonna hold your eyebrow up, and with 2 nice light lines, you're gonna begin to fill in the natural shape of your eyebrow. You can add an arch, you can really make them whatever shape you feel comfortable with having on your face. Once you're happy with the shape, you're gonna take a concealer, your concealer, you can use any brand, I'm using a Maybelline one, and a flat or an angled brush. And then you're gonna basically line the underside of your eyebrow, and this will clear up any mistakes, any misshapening, any baby hairs you have growing, and really just kind of help form them out. And then once you've lined, you can take a nice fluffy brush or a beauty blender and just blend everything out into your eyelid. If you're gonna do eyeshadow, you can leave it at that, or if you're done, you can set it with a nice powder. And as a final touch, take some clear eyebrow gel and just have them fill them in so they don't move. Filled in our second eyebrow, and here's our finished look. And that's how you fill in an eyebrow. Some good tips for making sure your eyebrows are nice and even is by using your nose. You want the base of your eyebrow to go all the way down to the side of your nose in a straight line. Like that. And then for filling in, you always want to make sure that it's darker at the back of your brow and that it goes lighter as you go to the base of the brow. So you see how it goes from dark to light. And that'll make it like a nice ombre look. It'll look natural, won't look too bulky or too dark. And it'll just be nice and natural. And then you're ready for the rest of your makeup application.
Wait.
After that, you go to B13.
Yeah, after B13.
Yeah.
Is that the whole thing?
You have to play part 6. It's
I like the
Right.
bar 4.
Okay, well, if we're committing to a bar play, then we get to...
Sorry.
Yeah, you gotta leave them like...
Go ahead. Do you have all the chords, or what do you have up to? I have, for A section, G minor 9, F7, G, whatever G.
Yeah.
B, flat, minor 11, G minor.
Okay. Before Sweater comes in, he can play like a little head, so we can like vamp on G minor to F.
Should we have like a standard melody for him, and then
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. Yeah. And then it happens again, right?
I'm afraid of fitting in, or not fitting in, I guess. Here it's been easier because we were like stuck together from the beginning, so it was like, you know, inevitable. But when I get out of here, and trust me, I'm really kind of looking forward to it. You know, I like adventure, but when I get out of here, how hard is it going to be? I feel like nothing will ever be this small and tight and loving. It's going to take time to find my people. I'm afraid of that
because I already have my people. And they're not coming with me. But I'm resilient. That's got to be helpful, right?
Here's a couple tips and tricks for when you're making boxed cake mix. I enjoy putting milk instead of water and then butter instead of oil into the cake because it gives it a better texture and it kind of makes it just a tad denser, and it's especially great for trifles or structured cakes or structured dishes because it kind of adds a little bit more structure so it's not too soft and it doesn't crumble when you make it. And I also added about a half a teaspoon of cinnamon in here and a half a teaspoon of espresso powder as well to intensify the chocolate flavor. And then when I baked it, I actually topped it off with a little bit of kosher salt, but it kind of baked into the cake, which is what I wanted. And the salt also helps balance the sweetness because I tend to find that boxed cake mixes tend to be a little sweeter and tend to have a lot more sweetness, so I like to add a little bit of salt on top.
So for the cake itself, you want to make sure that you're spraying either oil or putting parchment paper on the bottom of the cake so the cake does not actually get sticky or stuck to the pan. When it gets stuck to the pan, it will be quite difficult to get off. It'll give it a little bit of a crumbly look and not so much of a flat look that we kind of want. You're going to be baking the cake at 350 as directed on the side of the box, and you have to let the cake cool for about 10 minutes after on a wired rack. We'll be right back after the cake has cooled.
So the next step for the trifle is making the pudding mix. We're going to be using instant vanilla pudding and milk.
So for the instant pudding, it does say that I use 3 cups of cold milk. We're going to be doing 2.5 cups because we want it to be very thick for making this type of trifle. So I'm about to pour 2.5 cups of milk in the measuring cup. It doesn't really matter if you want to use whole, skim. It's up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. So we're going to do 2 cups.
And you can also use non-dairy like coconut, oat milk, soy, rice milk, cashew milk, whatever you like. So you can definitely mix this to your liking.
So that's 2 cups, and now we're gonna do our half.
And also make sure when you're using the pudding mix, you're using the instant pudding mix and not the cook and serve because the instant has a better texture for the trifle and it'll be a cold dish where the cook and serve is the hot pudding mix.
And now I'm gonna be using the packet from the instant pudding mix. So you're gonna pour it in there. And then you're gonna be taking your whip and you're gonna be actually whisking it a little bit.
And it may look thin at first, but once you continue to whip it, it'll get thicker, and then it'll also get thick in the fridge.
You're gonna actually be whipping it for about 2 minutes. And you wanna kinda do, this is like the mountain peak test that we do. So what you're gonna do actually is you're gonna be putting your whip inside the bowl and kinda going up, and you can see a little like peak a little bit as it's coming up. And as you continue to mix it, it will get thicker. So again, we're doing great. Yep. And it's ready to sit in the refrigerator.
So it's gonna sit in the fridge once again for 5 minutes just to chill out and get thick as well. While that's chilling in the fridge, we're gonna be cutting up our boxed cake mix, or our chocolate cake. So I have this cake in a sheet pan. We're gonna be making small individual trifles, so I'm gonna be cutting it into smaller pieces. So I'm just gonna make little scores on top of the cake just to see. I'm doing like small little cubes so that way they can fit into the cup easier.
Since our pudding is done chilling in the refrigerator for 5 minutes, now we're gonna be taking our Cool Whip and we're gonna actually be folding it into the pudding. So you're gonna just put it straight in there. So the reason why we're folding and why it's very important to fold the mixture is because it actually adds to the thickness and the fluffiness of the mixture.
So while she's working on the pudding mixture, I'm going to be working on prepping our strawberries. So today I'm going to just be cutting these into slices. I've already pre-washed these. It's really important to wash your produce before you use it and to just kind of do a quality control and knock out all the bad strawberries or produce that you have.
So as you're folding, you want to make sure that there's, as you can see, that there's huge clumps. You want to make sure that you're really folding that in, especially if your whip was frozen instead of refrigerated. You want to make sure it's thawed out a little bit. Makes it a little bit easier when you're kind of folding. You can kind of see it is mixing with that yellow undertones with the white. So you want to make sure that you're really getting deep within to make sure you get all of the Cool Whip mixed together.
The students at Carver Center really know their stuff, just like I know that we are so close to reaching our goal. And remember, for every dollar you donate tonight, Ralph Sapia and our very own Carver Center Foundation Board will double your gift up to $1,500. Thank you so much to you at home for supporting us. I'm so happy I could dance. But I'll leave that to our next performers. At Carver Center, we love collaborating with other primes. It gives us real-life experiences in collaboration. For our next live performance, we'll be combining the power of spoken word and the passion of movement to create a new powerful experience for you. Brooke Altman, Imani Abney, Miana Catlett, and Emma Oakes bring you Your Sexism is Not My Poetry.
I'm sitting on my roof in my duck print pajama shorts. The stars are shaped like a mother's hips, and I trace the outline with my pinky. Artemis appears next to me, and with a star-filled smirk, she asks me, "What is so special about the way you dream?" I don't know how to answer, and she takes my hand and presses it against her heart. There's a soft beat, like the ticking of a clock, under my fingertips. Your love feels real. Why push it away? I turn to see her, but she is gone now. The cold of Jack Frost pushes against my legs, and I crawl back into my bedroom. The sheets are cold as I slide into bed alone. I wonder to myself if she's thinking of me. I wonder if death feels this lonely. The moon and the sun dance against the audience of stars, filling the silken sky with watercolor ombres of sunlight. I wake to the moon goddess, pushing hair out of my eyes, and I feel that her hands are surprisingly warm. After my mother birthed me, I held her hand across the straits to Delos. She stands. We are the only ones we have left. I watch her cross to my window, and like a shadow, she disappears. I crawl back onto the roof and stare at the baby blue sky, which suffocates the silhouettes of the stars. Even in the day, Apollo's morning, she shines through, the world's mirrored reflection.
Wasn't that powerful? That's one of the amazing things about the arts. It gives us a chance to view the world in eye-opening ways. It also gives us the courage to stand up, speak out, and change the world for the better. This oil painting by Casey Tavera captures that potential in all of us. Now I think we're going to check in with our technicians, artists, and performers for some more exploratory experiences.
ta voix pure et sonore, tu Good evening, Carver Celebration. This is a short demonstration of the games that are produced for the 2020 Carver Celebration that never got the chance to be shown until now. They range from shooters to platformers to puzzle games. We are proud of what was produced this past year because it showcased the creators' talent, ability, perseverance, time, and effort to make full-fledged games. We're so excited to present them to you, so please enjoy.
Since you, I have given nearly 10 of my dollars to homeless men. I have helped 3 old ladies cross the street, and I even bought my so-called friend a present at full price. And it was something that I knew she would like. Okay, don't you see what you've done to me? You've made me nice. And what scares me the most is that you're gonna open that box and you're gonna ask me to marry you, and I'm just gonna nicely say yes and then be nice for the rest of my life. I'll give back to the community, to the Salvation Army, to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and I'll do it anonymously. And then one day I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna have this horrible realization that I lived a good life, that I contributed. Please, for the love of God, put that box away. This world already has millions of nice people in it. They don't need me to. I am a brat and I would love to stay that way. So I'm asking you, no, I'm begging you, I'm gonna get on my knees for you. Will you please not marry me?
The memory of my mother's village is faint. Dirt-path roads and bags of water swaddled in the depths of my mind, so golden and sacred, greeted by a gust of nostalgia. It is so sweet when the dots connect all of a sudden, and I'm reminded of the heart that beats beneath my flesh. I'm reminded of the sweat-soaked clothes bathed by the sun and the pain in my feet from running in the sand. This all too familiar when they ask me, "Where are you from?" Kids scrape their knees against Nigeria's toughened calluses, like they had a difficult life and worked twice as hard for everything they possessed. But the boys and girls of my 4th grade class monopolized my stories, asking me how our big brown huts looked. I laughed. I gnawed on the same lips that slipped on my native language, words tumbling wrapped in a heavy breath. Coming from my young cousins, dogging arrows seemed to echo from the roofs of their mouths. When they spoke, the words were so clear. In Nigeria, I don't have an accent. In the hills, the way I talk is common, marks me as an outsider, as alien. Clean clothes, my scalp a dance floor for my braids to prance about. I look simply like they do, the same dark eyes, honey skin. I had hoped to see my mother's village again. I was only 10 years old when I chased the chickens that lined the coop. Only 10 years when I spent the next 5 begging my parents to take me there. But the trip is not cheap, and so the memories fade, pieces slowly chipping like the paint on my fingernails. I wish I could blanket my skin in the blood oranges that my sister and I plucked from the trees. We sunk our teeth into its bittersweet insides. I imagined the cloudy syrup would run down my face, dip in my collarbones, swirling around the void, slipping past the hairs on my arms. Cover me. But it won't. I'm bare to the naked eye, nothing to convey my heritage, no fruit strong enough to shield me.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Sometimes all it takes is just saying hi.
Hi.
Now we're going to be moving on to one of the final steps of making our crate, which is drilling. Now, what I'm going to be showing you right now is something called pre-drilling. While pre-drilling isn't exactly necessary while drilling, it is recommended, especially when using smaller pieces like this, just so that you don't split the wood. Some safety tips for pre-drilling: you don't want to wear gloves, just so that the gloves don't get caught up in the drill as you're using it. And of course, you want to have safety goggles, and for the most part, that's pretty much it. And we're also going to be using this throwaway piece, I guess you could say, just so that I don't drill into the table. Here we got our first piece done. And our second piece. Now we're going to move on to actually drilling these pieces into the wood. You want to make sure that the wood is lined up nice and straight, and then you just drill the pieces down into the wood. Now our second piece. Now we have our piece finished. So now we're going to move on to the last couple of steps of putting the whole thing together. Now we're going to repeat this, but with this piece of wood.
now we have our finished short side.
So I'm gonna show you how to nail on the sides. We're gonna start with using 4 of our 1 foot pieces. We don't need to pre-drill for this because our nails are really small. So you're gonna take a nail, make sure that it's lined up so that it goes into the next piece of wood. And just use your hand to kind of get it started. And repeat the same steps with the opposite 2 pieces on the opposite side. And then all we have to do is finish the base, and Seth is going to show you how to do that.
Okay guys, well, I'm back and I'm going to finish off this whole crate here with the last remaining 3 12-inch pieces. We're just going to use a hammer and a nail for this. So we'll start with the outside pieces. It's always good to hold your hammer as far down on the handle as you can, because that will give you the most power behind your strikes, trying to drive that nail into the wood. All right, now we're going to do the other outside piece. And then we're going to finish it all off with that centerpiece. Leave about the same amount of space between both of the pieces around it, just to make sure that it's centered. And there we go. This crate is all finished.
This crate is perfect for all of your Carver memories. The Carver yearbook and the catalyst.
Or Carver Synergy.
Or even the Carver playbill.
We hope you enjoyed this tutorial and make your own crate at home.
Okay, so I got a few strawberries here, so now we can go ahead and start assembling our delicious trifles. So we're gonna take our little cake mixes, and we have these little small individual serving cups today. And if you can grab those spoons over there, that'd be great. So we're just gonna be using little small spoons. Here we go. So you're gonna start off with a layer of the cake, about a couple pieces or so, just right there on the bottom. And then Kelsey's gonna go in with the cream, with the custard mixture.
You want to make sure that the cake is like completely at the bottom. Makes it a little bit easier giving that trifle look layer. So you're going to take a spoonful of the pudding mixture that you've made. Again, making sure that you're flattening it out a little bit to make sure that it completely has gotten into the bottom layer. About that much is usually what you need.
And then after you do that, you're going to grab a couple handfuls of the strawberries and just layer those on the bottom. You're just going to repeat the steps a couple more times. We'll do probably one more layer of the cake and the strawberries. So there you go, and then she'll top that off with more pudding.
When you get close to the top, you don't kind of need as much. You just kind of want to flatten it out a little bit, making sure it's kind of getting around to those air bubbles and pockets. And we're just going to do a dollop of Cool Whip on top of this, just to give it a little bit more of a garnish kind of look.
Just a nice little dollop on top. And then we're going to bring our chocolate chips in and top ours off with our chocolate chips. And then a couple slices of strawberries. Just a couple slices of the strawberries right there. Here's the final product.
I guess it's time to dig in. I'm Kelsey.
I'm Kennedy.
Thank you.
Today has been absolutely amazing with all these great performances, and sadly, it's going to end very soon. But right before, we're going to have a performance from our amazing DIM Prime, which is the newest Prime here at Carver Center, known as Digital Instrumental Music. From the final live performance, direct from the studio, we have Hunter Soth, Jonathan Lentz, Max Rimlinger, James Esau, and John Russell Komanyayan, bringing you their rendition of Superstition. Enjoy!
writings on the wall. Very superstitious, the ladder's about to fall. 13-month-old baby broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck, the good things in your past. You believe in things you don't understand, and you suffer. Superstitions in the way. Very superstitious. Wash your face and hands. Rid me of problem. It's all that you can. Keep me eccentric. Keep me going strong. You don't want to save me. Sad is my song. When you believe in things you don't understand, you suffer. more to say. Very superstitious, devil's on his way. Good team also baby, broke the looking glass. 7 years to bad luck, good things in your past. We believe in things you don't understand and you suffer. Well, superstitions anyway.
Wow, tonight has been absolutely amazing. So many amazing, talented artists. And look, we have a new piece right up here made by Guinevere Roberts with this new graphite and marker made painting, piece of art. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, this gives me a good reason to think what George Washington Carver was saying. When you do the uncommon things of life in an uncommon way, you will command the attention of the world. Say uncommon, be Carver.
Absolutely. And a big thanks to Birchwood Capital Group, Barcoding Incorporated, and Ralph Sapia for sponsoring the performances you've experienced this evening. We did it. We all came together from all around the world to celebrate all things Carver Center. Congratulations to this evening's performance.
And all the media winners that you can see right now on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
And to you, the parents, alumni, teachers, and community members who have helped us during this incredibly difficult year.
And just remember, you can use the QR code right around here to scan it and donate right now.
And be sure to check out Carver Foundation on YouTube to have an encore of tonight's performances.
Thank you. And I want to thank you on behalf of Carver Celebration, Carver Foundation, and all the students.
Thank you, and good night.
Creativity sparks no prize in another, shining like form, a dependent time, pure for the bruised and sore. Crystal illusion, sharp and wonder, science claims it. Love erases it, have a more present kick. Medicine tries to adapt to life, balance and time replace mine. Commercials they run, traditions that claim us, breaking free.